What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to play on the radio. So the propagation is awesome. I can't show you because this is the webcam. So we're just going to try to see what we can reach on the 5.2. We're going to call CQ real quick on the 5.2. CQ, this is Kilo India 5, Quebec Mike, calling CQ on simplex. And I really hate to waste the propagation because it's awesome today. So, while we're on the subject, let's figure out what we're going to do. What do we need to call CQ, and what do we need to have ready? Alright, so let's see what we got. So the first thing you need, obviously, is your ham radio license. You have to be a licensed ham to operate ham radio, of course. That's a given. So let's say you've got your ham radio license, you've got your ham radio, you've got a nice antenna, and the propagation is good. I'll go ahead and pop a picture up right here of the propagation map, and you can see that there is a lot of good propagation. Now, there could be a lot better propagation, but we just don't have it right now. So this is still showing that there are contacts being made using APRS. So you've got propagation, you've got good propagation. You're on the 5.2. Next thing you're going to need is a notepad. And along with the notepad, you're obviously going to need an ink pen to write down your contacts, your QSLs, all that good stuff. Also, you are going to want you want to bring up your UTC time clock. I have a shortcut saved onto my web browser that gives me the UTC time. Even though it is 7:25 in the morning, UTC is 12:25 in the afternoon. So, and the UTC time is in military time. So now that we've got our UTC time, the reason I keep a notepad is so I can hurry up and write down the call sign, the UTC time, the start time, the start time, UTC, start time and UTC, the call sign, how I'm sending, whether it be 5.9, 5.7, whatever. Let's see, the frequency, the mode, power, and the date, of course, and a logbook. This one I got on Amazon. A link to all of the equipment that I use is in the description down below, and it's all on Amazon, so check it out. The only link I could not find was to my specific TRAM antenna, the 1480, which there is a TRAM antenna in the link. However, it is not the exact same one. Well, let me rephrase that. It is the exact same one. It's the exact same model, make, everything. But it is not the exact same buyer, because for some reason I couldn't find that link after I bought it. Because that antenna actually cost me $65, and everywhere else that I found it is like $100 and something antenna. So I was trying to save you guys a little money. So now that we've got all the equipment, everything we need, let's go ahead and get ready to call CQ on propagation. On the 5.2, excuse me. CQ, this is Kilo India 5, Quebec Mike, calling CQ. Kilo India 5, Quebec Mike. So when we're on simplex, we're on UHF, VHF. It's short, sweet, and to the point, just like that. Call CQ a few times and give your call sign, and hopefully somebody will come back. Now, there are videos on how to call CQ on HF, but we're not using HF, we're using VHF. I have a lot of luck with VHF. So, now as far as calling CQ on a HF, you want to do it for about a minute, because it'll give people time to find those that are using a scope It'll give people time to see, okay, there's a guy transmitting. Let's go over there real quick, and they'll use the VFO knob and they'll channel, they'll surf over to your frequency, and they will hopefully find you. And by the time they find you, you're still calling CQ and giving your call sign. A lot of people say call CQ a couple times and then give your call sign and then wait. It's not enough time for them to find you. Or you can just keep doing that. But as long as there is traffic going on and they can see it in the waterfall, then they'll be able to find you. Let's call CQ again. We're probably not going to get anybody. I've been calling CQ for about 30 minutes, haven't had any luck. And if that's the case, then we'll switch over to a repeater. CQ, this is Kilo India 5, Quebec, Mike, calling CQ. Now, why am I calling CQ so much? Well, first of all, I'm not on a repeater, so you can't just, I mean, you can call CQ on a repeater. Usually you just put your call sign out and they will pick you up. I was at work last night, but I was getting information at work from where I live in southern Oklahoma. The propagation was so good. We were, apparently there was contacts going from Austin to Houston, and we were listening, or she was listening to it here at the QTH. So, no luck on the 5.2, so let's switch over to a repeater. Kilo India 5, Quebec, Mike. Let's see if we can get anybody in there. Now on a repeater, all you just got to do is throw your call sign out. If somebody's listening, they'll pick up. If somebody's available. Let's move over to the Roston repeater. Kilo India 5, Quebec, Mike. Y'all see this little hanger a lot in these videos. I love these little hangers. It makes it a lot easier. Also, I use, where did it go? It was just here. I use these little, that's not it. Oh, I found it. It's under the laptop. There it is. I use these little hanger things. You can get these at the dollar store all day long. I just pull the
WD5U repeater.
I just pull the self-adhesive.
Kilo India 5, Quebec, Mike. Kilo 5 Delta Echo Hotel. How are you this morning?
Kilo 5 Delta Echo Hotel. This is Kilo India 5 Quebec, Mike. The name is Frank, and I'm doing great. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Very well, Frank. My name is Doug. Doing just fine. I'm mobile, southbound on 35. Just went through Sanger and headed to Irving this morning for a meeting.
Wow. That's a great repeater. That's a great repeater. Wow, down in Sanger, I tell you what, I'm sure enough loving the repeater, and I've been told several times that I need to get on this repeater, and I've finally done it. And that's quite a ways away from me. I'm actually in Ryan, Oklahoma at my QTH, about 20 miles north of Bowie, if you know where that is, or about an hour, I'll say about 45 minutes away from Wichita Falls. Man, I love this repeater. It's awesome. They say it's the tallest repeater in Texas.
Sir. Frank, I know exactly where Ryan, Oklahoma is. I actually live in Gainesville, Texas.
Sweet.
And I'm retired, but I had a little meeting to go to this morning down in Irving. And
Awesome.
I think I've been in Irving and could hit that Ralston repeater. And I've heard people as far north as Moore, Oklahoma.
Whoa. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, that is quite the jump. I was calling CQ on Simplex. I didn't want to really waste the propagation. The propagation is awesome today. And I'm actually doing a video on YouTube right now, if you don't mind being on it. If so, then I can omit your call sign and information. But I was just explaining about propagation, and a few weeks ago I was able to talk to a gentleman by the call sign of Kilo 5 Kilo Victor, who is about 80 miles west of Waco, and I was talking to him on simplex just fine because the propagation was so good. But I tell you what, I'm sure enough loving this Ralston repeater.
80 miles west of Waco on simplex. That is impressive.
It's impressive.
Yeah, this Ralston repeater, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's at about 1,800 feet where that antenna is located, if I remember reading up on it. It's kind of out in the country in the middle of nowhere, and it's actually on the ranch of a man that I know who is also a ham. And
That's awesome.
all right, it's just crazy, you know, how far out that thing will reach.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where the Ralston repeater is located. I've just been told that I needed to get on it, so I assume it was close to my QTH, at least within, maybe an hour's driving distance. But this is actually my second contact on this. Actually, I take that back. My third contact on this repeater. I was able to give a report for a radio check yesterday to KI5, I can't remember the call sign. A lady over there in, I believe it's Gainesville area. My boss actually lives in St. Joe, so you're not too far away from him. I gotta remember that call sign.
Yes, so that's correct. And I also talked to that lady yesterday afternoon. I think she's actually said she's in Whitesboro, which would be about 15 miles or so east of Gainesville. The Ralston is, and the Ralston repeater is just southwest of Gainesville. I guess the way the crow flies, 20 miles or so, something like that, maybe 25. And it's quite a tower. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Starting to lose him.
And it's on the ranch owned by Dr. Knight. It's the MK. It's in Mary King MK Ranch near Ralston. And I mean, that thing will really, I've heard people from just, all over this part of the southern Oklahoma and northern Texas hitting that thing.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I'll tell you what, I've been told that it's the tallest repeater in Texas, or the tallest tower in Texas, something similar to that nature. Earlier this month, or earlier last month, should I say, now that it's the second, I was able to, I was fortunate enough to chase that locomotive, the big boy UP 4014 from Madill, Oklahoma down to Fort Worth. I'll tell you what, that was quite a drive. In every little town I was going through, I was trying to call someone on simplex and on the 5.2, and it was really disappointing that I wasn't able to get anybody. I think the 5.2 is mainly for new folks, new hams, which I am a new ham. I was just granted my license on July the 9th. I got my tech, and I'm actually going on the 9th of the 11th, the 9th? I don't know. I've been up all night. I'm going here in a few days to take my general, and I think I kind of took off running with the ham project, my ham hobby. I've got a tower that I've got now. I've got a HF radio. I actually just bought a new antenna that I'm talking to you on. It is a TRAM 1480, and I tell you what, I'm loving it already. I've had a lot of people tell me that it's I'm sounding a lot more clear on that antenna. I tend to ramble.
Right, you sound very good. I'm a relatively new ham myself. I guess 2 years maybe, and I just have my tech and just started studying again. My wife and I both for our general. Even though I'm retired, she's in business for herself, and I help her quite a bit. And you know how life goes; it just kind of gets away from you. And now we have some time to start studying again. And we're Looking forward to doing that and getting I've got an HF, I've got a Yuzu 991A in my ham shack, and I enjoy listening to HF right now. I'm really looking forward to being able to get on it at some point. Kilo 5 Delta Echo Hotel.
Kilo India 5, Quebec, Mike. Yeah, definitely. I have been listening to HF. I've got an Icom IC 718 for my HF rig with a, I believe it's going to be MFJ 1984 LP. I accidentally got the low power antenna, thinking it was the same one. I wasn't paying attention. I just got too excited and bought it. And I went ahead and bought a Pyle PS8KX power supply for my VHF UHF rig, which please don't be too judgmental, but I think these radios paired with a good antenna can make a big change. That being said, the rig I'm talking to you on is a Bofang UV25X2 mobile radio, 25 watts.
Well, Frank, I'm certainly no expert, but I would have to agree with you, and I think the antenna makes all the difference in the world. You know, like I say, I'm relatively new to this, and I've kind of assumed that antennas were a lot like my wife being a freelance writer and photographer, you know, with her camera equipment. You know, there's certainly, you know, better cameras than others, but she is all about the lens, and the lenses that you use can really make or break that shot, you know, and so I kind of tend to agree with you about those antennas.
Yeah, I didn't really think that it would make much of a difference, because I did have a mobile antenna. I actually have the same rig in my car that I have in my house. It is a Btech 25X2 and a TRAM 1180 antenna, and that's what I was using for the first couple of months, and I really liked it. I really had my heart set on a bigger antenna. And I'll tell you what, last night I was listening, I say I was listening, my YL was listening to a couple of guys talking back and forth from Houston to Austin here on Simplex, and had I not been at work, I would have definitely jumped in and tried to at least make a contact with them. That way I can get a QSL card to them and extend my record for the longest QSL on Simplex, which is a very, very hard feat to do.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I stumbled on a Simplex net, and you probably own that. It's on Thursday evenings, I think I can't remember if it's 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. And I want to say the control net is out of Forestburg, which is actually just a little west of the Ralston Tower, the Ralston repeater. But I stumbled onto that a couple, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, I suppose, and talked with those guys for just a few minutes one evening when I was out running some errands. But anyway, Don, my mobile rig is a FTM 400, Yaesu FTM 400, and I've got a diamond antenna on my truck. Gosh, I can't remember the model name or number on it right off the top of my head. I'm kind of one of those guys that just gets on here and talks occasionally. I don't spend a whole lot of time on the radio.
WD5U repeater.
Yeah, I did a lot of shopping around, and actually I pulled the trigger on the Comet GP6, which is similar to the TRAM 1480. It's a two-piece fiberglass antenna with ground plane radials, and my YL got kind of upset that I'd spent so much on an antenna, and I told her, I said, you know, I can spend about $500 on an antenna if you don't like the way I bought my antenna. And she was kind of not happy about that, so I ended up canceling that order, and I found this TRAM 1480 for literally half the cost. Actually, a lot less than half the cost, about $100 cheaper. The antenna I'm talking on now is a $65 antenna compared to the $160 something antenna that I was going to order. Yeah, I believe, yeah, that simplex net you're talking about, I cannot think of the gentleman's call sign, but his name is Olin. He is part of the Whiskey X-Ray 5 Alpha Romeo X-Ray, or Alpha Romeo Charlie, WX5 ARC Amateur Radio Club out of Bowie, Texas, and that's actually where I tested and I listen to quite often. Between this one, the WX5 ARC repeater, and the Red Cross repeater out of Wichita Falls, Texas, these are my three main repeaters.
Yeah, Olin was the guy I talked to that night. That's correct. His first name was Olin, and I think he actually lives up there in Forestburg, which is, of course, not far from Bowie at all. But anyway, listen, Frank, I've enjoyed visiting with you. I'm going to have to jump off here in just a few minutes and get some fuel on my way to Dallas, and it's been a pleasure to visit with you. I hope you have a great weekend coming up, and I'll probably catch you out here, the Ralston repeater, or on Simplex in the future. Take care of yourself. Kilo 5, Delta Echo Hotel.
Thank you so much, Doug, and you have a safe night, safe day, and safe trip, and hope everything goes well today. 7-3 KF5 QQM clear monitoring. Wow, that was a great QSL. This is another new one for me. I love doing new QSLs because, as you guys know, I love QSL cards. This is another guy I get to send a QSL card to. I forgot to ask him if everything was updated on QRZ, which is where I get all of my information so that I can send QSLs off. So, unfortunately, it wasn't on Simplex. However,
5, Quebec. This is Kilo Alpha 6 Golf Mike Echo for a quick signal report.
I got another one.
Sounding mighty fine, sir. Mighty fine for sure. K5 D&J.
Hey, I heard someone talking about a simplex net, and it wasn't the 14658. It was somewhere out in Bowie. What about that?
The only one I know is on Friday night, and I want to say, I'm going to think about it. I've got it written down at the house. I thought it was 5.8. I don't know. I'll have to look for sure.
Kilo India 5 Quebec Mike. Yeah, I believe that's the. I know there's one on Friday night. It's the Parker County Simplex Net. That's on the 5.8 on Friday nights. The other one, I believe, that a friend of mine runs, or a WX5 ARC member runs, is, I'm wanting to say it's on the 5.2. I'm not quite sure.
But no is KB5 YBI. So he'll be on here. Oh, well, yeah. He should be on here today. Leaves tomorrow. Anyway, good luck. K5 D&J.
K5 D&J. Who was that other station on that was calling for me earlier? We'll try to get as many.
Oklahoma. I'm not sure when and where, but I was trying to hit that one day. It was a band opening. 73, y'all. Got to do some yard work. K6 GME, Boston County.
73, J5 D&J.
I didn't get their call signs. I got K5 D&J. However, that wasn't a proper QSL, so I'm hoping I can catch him later on, probably tomorrow morning when I get off work, and get a good QSL for him. So I've written a lot of stuff down. I actually wrote down his QSL in my logbook. And again, this logbook I just got on Amazon, and so far I've almost got the first page, and I do put notes in mine right here. This is when I changed out the antenna yesterday, so that kind of gives me little information to look back on. So, and I do keep information on my notepad, such as, which I actually was able to refer to the 5/8 Friday night Parker County net. Hopefully I can get on that tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. So yeah, notepads are awesome to have. You can get all kinds of information and jot it down. For example, the guy's Kilo 5 Delta Echo Hotel, his name was Doug, and I started my QSL with him at, I forgot to write the end time down, but I think we got about 20 minutes of QSL time, so maybe. So we got about 15 minutes of QSL time, so I'll write it down as, no, maybe a little less. Either way, I'll figure out the time later. But all that stuff is going to go into my logbook. I'm going to put it on QRZ, and I'm going to fill out some QSL cards and get them labeled and ready to go in the mail. Because one of the greatest things about ham radio is when you get your first QSL card, and I might have spoiled it for some of you, because if you're not expecting it and you just get a random letter in the mail from somebody you made contact with, and you're like, oh, I recognize that name, and you open it up and there's a QSL card in there, you just light up. It was awesome. Also, the cool thing is I've got a couple other coworkers that are considering getting their ham radio license, and they're actually starting to get really into it. So I'm excited about that. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a net, I guess you could say, or this QSO, and I guess you can call it a QSO party. Not necessarily the kind of QSO party I'd like to have, but this is fun anyway for the most part. I'm going to put links to everything that I have, that I use on, as far as my radio equipment. Anything I use for ham is going to go down in the description below. A link to the propagation map so that you guys can check it out is going to be linked into the in the description, as well as the UTC time clock, and I'll even go ahead and throw a link to QRZ down there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me at Kilo India 5 Quebec Mike at gmail.com, or I'm sorry, ki5qqm@gmail.com. And I will be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Also, don't forget to, actually you might be quicker if you just leave a comment down below and ask me a question there. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, that little red box, and share these videos to anybody that you may think would be interested in getting their ham, or are new hams, or are actually getting ready to take their test. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. 7-3.